It's USDA discrimination. You understand? This entire county pulls USDA. And so every store.
Well, yeah, it's cattle country. Same thing as Nebraska. They get all sorts of funding for that. They have to because of the diseases and all that.
And then, so were you
highly
homeless out in
regulated.
Nebraska?
I was.
That is tough. Holy
It is.
shit. Right?
There ain't nothing in Nebraska, and people in Nebraska are heartless. But you know, they'll be nice to you for the little stuff. They will feed you, but the thing is that they're still going to talk trash while doing it. It's like going down south. He's such an idiot, bless his heart.
Wow,
You know?
wow. That's how they are down south, huh?
It certainly does.
My problem is, shit, there's no shelters. There's helping hands. But good luck getting in with this car because they made a big fucking goddamn deal about my car. I have to have all the straight. I don't even go back there because I can't produce what they want me to produce. I mean, it was a big fucking.
You don't have the means to do so, and
well,
that's
it's
the
a bunch
thing.
of papers that are in storage. Fuck if I know where they are.
I got a bunch of papers in storage too, and the fact that I have to have a storage facility because of all the, like, in order to get, for example, my friend Victoria, to get $50 worth of food for a month, right? She was trying to get help because she couldn't feed herself and her daughter, and they had to live out of a car because they were staying with a guy who expected.
More expensive, and then they give you shit in food bank you can't use because you just gotta haul it around, and it's a big fucking hassle.
Well, also she paid her rent, and this guy was expecting her to give favors. Like, this is a single mom who's living out of her fucking car. She paid you her rent for the month. Yes, very much. Or at least 4 women this week have told me.
No, but what I've been through here, yeah, the landlord expects you. But that was a long time ago in Rockaway.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that. God, I was like, Jesus, not a fucking kayak.
Well, Victoria, because the courts told her, well, you have to go to this food bank and they'll hook you up. Well, it was a food bank through a church, and the church's rules was that you had to go to for their Wednesday meetings before you could go to the food bank. So she's got to spend like $50 every time she goes there, plus basically the whole day to go to these meetings. Plus there's the $50 she's got to spend to travel for the day that they do the food bank, which is on a Thursday. So she's got to travel 5 times in a month. It's costing her $250 a month to get $50 worth of food, and it's preventing her from being able to get a job. Plus there's the fact that all the fucking paperwork.
I'm carrying around all this canned shit in my fucking car and shit.
And that ain't no good neither. You know, if you have a place to cook.
I don't have a place to go. There's nowhere to go.
Exactly. Friggin' housing crisis. And then homelessness went from, in 2019, there was about 500,000 homeless people in America. Today, there's 2.1 million.
God, Jesus, in 3 years.
No, I just have a beard.
No, in 3 years.
Oh, you said Jesus. I thought it was a bad joke.
Not you. I was just thinking about that. 3 years, it tripled. At
Yeah.
least it's quadrupled. Because they lie about how many homeless there are. They lied. They said
their own record said it went up 75% last year. As far as 1,800 homeless, in Boulder County, they have 122 beds for all the homeless. There's over 4,000 homeless people.
Salem said there's 1,800 homeless people. I'm like, no, there's fucking 3,000 homeless in Salem.
They tried saying there's only 3,000 homeless people in Portland. I'm like, in what part?
Yeah, in which neighborhood? Why is there 3,000 homeless people?
Yup.
I'm from Hillsborough, fucking Beaverton, I'm from everywhere.
I got 2 people missing from Beaverton. My friend Rebecca Rosnick-Foley. I came up here to help her because of the situations that she was having. She used to feed homeless people in Boulder, Colorado, and her predators tried claiming that she was schizophrenic and delusional and that she had never done that. I'm like, I was one of the homeless people she fed. I'll be goddamned if they're going to get away with this off lying about this. Hell no. I came up here to help her, but on my way up here, she was like, somebody needs to come up here and help me. It is a dangerous situation. And I've said that many times since Natalie got her braids blown out. I know exactly that. So yes, I travel here.
I'm really afraid. I've had sites put on me and everything. I've had razors put on me. Even in the state park,
and these guys actually do that. Like there was a guy, he come out of the mountains, like it's hunting season. I fucking hate hunting season. I'm like, what's going on? It's like, you know, they see us up there and they see our camps and they know we're up there and They know they're not supposed to be hunting around them camps. And they go up there with their laser spotting scopes and they come and they point them at us. And, you know, it's just a spotting scope. There's no rifle attached. The guy next to him's got a rifle he's pointed at you. And they're just doing that out of fun. They just think it's entertaining because you're homeless and they want to scare the shit out of you. Like, they haven't done it to me, but it's still a McCown.
In the city,
And then there's the people who have just laser pointers, which you don't know if it's just a laser pointer they're pointing at you. There's a guy named Lewis and his wife Cheryl, and they've been telling me about some similar creepy ass shit. And the one guy
died. I bet that too. It was so fucking cold. Next to the slough, just putting they were using hot rocks. They were using hot rocks, and wrapping them up and laying on them. And God dang it, this guy boiled these fucking blood and cancer. And his wife just told me about it last time I was in Tillamook. And I knew these people. They were homeless here. And I can't believe it. But she said no, he died of cancer. Each spot where he had laid up the hot rocks was still on this thing. They finally got inside and she said, honey, look, wait a minute. And they had been married like 25 years. She said, what the hell is this? Took him in and he was filled with fucking cancer. And they had determined that it was because his blood boiled because he laid on the hot rocks too fucking hot. He was wrapping it in newspaper and this and that.
Killed the cells and they were still floating around in there.
Oh God,
and then the white blood cells that were still in there tried to attack it and tried to do something with it, but it was oversaturated and had nowhere to put it.
Jesus, have you heard of this ever happening before?
Well, not over hot rocks, but there's a submariner's disease that's similar. People who work in the diesel room.
Jesus God, are you serious?
Well, I think it's like before they had air conditioning anyway, it could get up to 130, 140 degrees in there.
Oh God.
Yeah, when they say there's air conditioning in submarines, you think to yourself, why would they need air conditioning in submarines? It's cold in the water and metal takes the cold.
Listen to this. You know where I got these? Because I did business with a bitch down in Salem. Us bitches do business. See what I'm saying? You know what I did? And I shouldn't have because I can't. I have storage. It was the second time she hit me up, right? She's in her car, sorry. She's in her car. All these bitches are in their cars. If they're lucky enough to have a phone call.
And then there's
if they go into the Mexican thing, they might get beaten or something. If they get in a family, but at least they have a family there. And
well, we got the Norteños trapped
listen
in
to what I did.
through Grand
I did business with her. It was the second time she approached me, and I know Easter's this, that, and approaching. And I don't have any money, so I can't. But I don't even say she's an Easter. She said she was in a fire. Man, whatever. She might be one of these fire people that her shit burned down or some shit.
Yeah.
Her husband, something. Anyway, she's just got it all fucking braids and fucking fingernails and the whole thing because they're city girls. What I did is, she had these crowns, they're tiaras. And she showed them to me before, and I go, God dang, those are fucking sweet. She's like, yeah, cheap, and I go, I don't know. But this time, she said, she goes, $20 a piece. I go, hey man, I'll give you 50 for 2. So I overshot it by 5 on 2 of them, and I can't afford it. I'm living in my car, don't have an apartment, need to get an apartment, but I'm hoping to get a job, right? So I bought 2 of these tiaras for her that I can't use. Jesus Christ, they're tiaras. Come on, what am I gonna do? This is how I dress. But the thing is, she got so excited and pulled out a bag full of jewelry and gave me these rings. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then when I look at this one, I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I think those are fucking diamonds on that ring.
I'm not sure what they are.
But anyway, yeah, that's how we're affiliated, is by doing business with each other. Okay?
Helping each other out when it's needed. Yep, exactly.
It's just unbelievable. But the thing is, we don't have enough money to do any business, but that's all everybody does. You know, have you been down to Eugene?
I haven't. I was supposed to go there to turn in some predators, but
Yeah.
having to do it in alone doesn't work. Now, I got a question for you. I tell everybody, because I've been homeless for years, I've been on the circuit for years, and I've been helping find missing people for years. I say, if you want to actually catch human traffickers, you got to go ask homeless women. Now, am I wrong about that?
Out on the street and yeah.
Who knows more about being human trafficked than a homeless woman? If you aren't human trafficked yourself, you know somebody who was or currently is. That's literally how it is.
Yeah, and the thing is, they do it to everybody. Young men, young women, everybody.
Exactly.
They shoot them up there.
Oh my God! And see, I speak about that. The trap houses, not just Eugene. They're doing that in Cheyenne, Wyoming. See, here's the thing. Everything.
They don't
goes
even
through
have to
Denver,
have
Colorado.
houses in Eugene. Shit. They shoot them up
Same
there.
thing in Tacoma. They're doing it in alleys over at the malls over by Winco Foods on 100 or on 72nd. I mean, I got video of heroin addicts while I'm looking for a computer that was stolen. Cops wouldn't help me. I've got a meth addict who is taking me to go get my computer. He tracked it down because he was also a victim of being sexually assaulted as a kid.
Yeah, and it's hard
So
for
he
the
helped me
guys
track
to
down
talk
my
about
computer.
it.
Exactly.
It's
We're
really
ostracized
fucking hard
for
for
it.
young men to talk about it.
That's exactly what I'm dealing with. It got to the point I was being, all right, so a friend of mine was on heroin, and you know the risks. You have to be afraid that if she gets busted, she's not going to turn in her dealer. And the thing is that the friend that I went to see, she was suicidal over her family, but she was staying with her family, so she was in a subservient environment. And me, I'm autistic, and I got severe PTSD, and I don't go anywhere without my support network. But
Wow.
I went there. I even drove alone by myself.
Real hard too, yeah.
Because she wanted me to, and she was going to commit suicide if I didn't. Her family drove
Did
her
her
that
kids
crazy.
get taken away? Was she a tea time gal?
She didn't have any kids. She was too young for that.
I
The
see.
thing
Well,
is,
we are tea time
blonde-haired,
gals.
blue-eyed white girls
How
go
about
for
that
$1 million.
demographic? How about that demographic of us bitches, blonde, blue-eyed, white bitches with native blood also got our kids taken away, and it don't matter if you're blonde, black, what.
They'll take
The
all of your
Mexicans
kids.
They never take the Mexican kids away here because it's sanctuary.
You know? And
So they have to take away more other kids.
Well, here's the thing. It's a national epidemic, all right? Everywhere across America, rich people want to adopt blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girls. A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white girl under the age of 6 in specific, because the younger they are, the less likely they are to remember their original parents.
Yeah. They want the newborns.
They do.
They want the newborns.
I've had several of my friends out here on the homeless circuit that had their kids taken away when they got a house, when they got into housing, when they had a job, when they were doing good. They took their kids and made them jump through expensive hoops that not even a millionaire can possibly jump through all that
They
and
told
still
me
go
in
to work.
Washington State 25 years ago in Washington State, they'd tell me I had to make $4,000 a month. I was pulling in $1,600 a month. They said to get your kids back, you have to make $4,000 a month. I was like, "Fuck you!" I've jumped through every.
And people don't believe that actually happened. I remember
When
places
I got
up
my
there,
kid back, he's retarded.
foster homes with 20 people in them. All right, 20 people in a foster home. I was in a foster home with 13 people.
Try 60. Try
That one was
the
in the
Sword
news.
Outs. Have you ever read about the Sword Outs?
That was on the news.
The
Yeah.
Sword Out family and their baby mill, and the girl I saved because she's Ojibwe, and they were gonna give her 36 for having a baby in the bathroom and put it in the dumpster, and she said no. I made that up. It's really weird and complicated, but it was a baby mill. And that's why Angelica said she made that up. Now I really don't know that she's fucked me over because she's a mixed up bitch and works for Motel 6 a lot in different places. And, because it is the baby mill thing. So we're also that's not just a baby mill.
And it's a low
the
income.
whole Sword Out family,
Wow.
no. Now the Mr. and Mrs. have died, but the whole family is still in business. She had 60 adoptive and foster brothers and sisters, and they also had a adult foster care home for men there in the home.
And then there's also the medication
that's not
they
a
feed
home.
those kids.
That's
You
a
go into the
goddamn
system because your
compound.
parents are on drugs and they drug the fuck out of you in the system.
Oh yeah, it's
So they
sick.
tell your parents that it's wrong for them to do drugs on the streets, but then they force you to take drugs as a kid in the system.
Yeah, and my son can't stand anything speedy because he hates that because they made him take Concerta, which is like Ritalin.
Oh my God, I was on Ritalin. That shit gives us sugar addictions. Most of the people I know who are on Ritalin for any significant amount of time, we have a sugar addiction from hell.
I have a sugar addiction, but I actually like Ritalin long acting, but I was prescribed that with Miranol, lithium, and Ritalin by a very
Holy shit, lithium fucked me up.
No, but small amounts, right? So what I did is I took small amount of that lithium, Ritalin, Miranol, pot, speed, and weed, speed, and salt.
There's the government version and the street version,
And
but
that's how
it
we
does the same
legalized
shit.
it. That's how we legalized. But we couldn't get any good weed for 8 years because they vaped all of it. For 8 years, from Oregon, from Eugene to Port Angeles, you could not get no good weed. That's why we had to get the Marinol pills. Anyway, we legalized pot over that shit. That was a good doctor note. But
I went door to door multiple times to get it legal in
I
Colorado.
was prescribed like 60 milligram a day. I would only take, which is low. The problem with lithium is they always overprescribe. They always prescribe with fucking bad shit like Clonopin and
And it
Depakote.
turns you into a
That's
zombie.
what I'm again. I like lithium, Clonopin, Depakote, psychotropic. They're killing my son. They're murdering my son. The mafia is shooting up disabled people with Clozaril, which is like a heroin substitute. They perjure themselves to the Dutch. It's the Ball family. They're here in Tillamook County. They're fighting they're suing the Nazis, but they're like fascists, and they all went to school with Donald Trump. Anyway, the baby balls, 35, 40-year-old fucking rat fuckers show up in every county to fuck everybody. Mario, Lindsay, Chucky Ball is a huge heroin dealer. Like, these people are nothing to nobody. They pushed $100 million worth of pills for my ex in the Whitaker. I'm like, fucking, they're
There was a
nothing to
lady I
nobody.
was
They're a
staying
bunch of
with in
goddamn-
Colorado. She was dealing
They
with
put those
ecstasy.
people.
She was dealing with all sorts
They go
of
from
stuff.
county to county. It's the mafia. They go from county to county. These Cosa Nostra little shits. Gus Ball's fucking kids. Okay? And he claims, well, I'm fine. I'm like, well, yeah, Gus, you're cool. I see you if you're fighting evil. But you know what? I would go to your fucking enemies and tell them everything. Because that is Orion Industries running on stolen diamonds, making payouts for fucking bribes for fucking state contracts. It's bullshit. It's Long Island New York.
All that stuff is stuff that I'm not familiar with, but I'm familiar with
It
a lot
means
of the
they're
stuff here.
poisoning my son to death.
They're doing
He's
that to all of
pushing
us,
27.
absolutely.
But he's
I'm
totally
42.
retarded. That's what I'm saying. That what they do to the kids, they did my niece's baby the same thing. It's called Italian assassination software hospital pumping systems. They get people in hospitals that pump them full of fucking heroin. Make them puke all over
Well,
the
the
place.
injections that they use to make people schizophrenic is called a 10 and 2 or a B52.
Oh,
And
God.
it's 10 milligrams of Haldol and 2 milligrams of Ativan. And sometimes
Are
they
you
put in
serious?
Haldol.
Haldol. He was on Haldol.
Holy
So
shit.
Ativan is what type of a drug? Ativan is
It's
is it speed?
it'll knock
Or
you
is
the
it
fuck
downer?
out. No, it's definitely a downer. It'll knock you out.
Ativan. Well, I'm gonna find out what generic Ativan is.
You should look at
Haldol
what a
plus
walking
Ativan.
coma or an Ativan coma. You should look those up.
So they had him on Haldol and probably a generic Ativan. Thank you very fucking much. My name is Karen Lee Gillis.
I'm
You
Charlie
nailed it.
Schwartz.
You just nailed it. This is why they don't like the homeless talking to each other, because we nail it, right? Because
Well,
you just
you
nailed it. Ativan plus Haldol. That they were. It was spread chunky peanut butter through his hair. He was drooling. He couldn't even walk. It was unbelievable.
It fucks you up.
They're motherfuckers. Now they got him again. And
8% of people
I'm
who
gonna
get those
tell-
injections never
I'm
come
gonna-
back from.
I'm gonna tell the goddamn. Oh really?
That's almost 1 in 10, yeah.
So, I'm
Almost
gonna tell-
30%
no,
of
they're
people have an
fucking him
immediate
up.
reaction
all
that makes
he,
them
all he
temporarily
did was hang
schizophrenic.
himself dead, die, and come back from the dead in the name of Jesus Christ by intercessory prayer. He's not fucking crazy. He's just brain injured, and they keep fucking him like that. So yeah, thank you for that information, because they're killing my son, and I am gonna go to the judge and say, you keep his ass in the jail and keep him safe from that goddamn Cosa Nostra pieces of shit. Yeah, but we're watching because see what they're fighting is the Nazis. Nazis are strong here. It's pretty good.
I'm aware of the Nazi presence here, and see, I speak up about Nazi behaviors, but here very much you can see people do fly the flags. They do have the tattoos.
It's
and the
unbelievable. I was in
KKK,
Evo last
here.
night.
I see a lot of shamrock tattoos as well.
Oh yeah, I don't even think about that shit. I run into in Eugene, you meet Irish Republican Army, and they're it's kind of hard asses to Scottish people. We're like, hey, we're cousins, and they're like, oh no, we're IRA, motherfuckers.
Even if they're IRA, if they go to an American prison with a shamrock tattoo, they will shave that off, or you better become part of the Aryan Brotherhood. Those are your two choices. That's it.
Oh, that's an Aryan thing, the shamrock?
It is.
Okay, I thought that was IRA or something. But anyway,
it is.
I do know
it is IRA, but here in America it means something different. They will make you shave off your tattoo.
God damn, son of a bitch! Oh, shave it off! Hey, God dang. Well, what the hell was I gonna say about this fucking
my car?
What's that?
You came up about my car, I think.
Oh, the car. But anyway, fucking shit about that. Oh, last night I was in Evo, stopped. Because I gave up smoking pot in the Sayusla because it's become so goddamn dangerous. I said, fuck it.
I keep putting drugs in it. Methamphetamines and fentanyl. Nobody wants to smoke that shit.
The weed is fine.
No, they did that to me here, and they did it to 2 other people I know here. Go to the dispensary. Don't get it on the street.
I do go to the dispensary.
Yes,
absolutely,
ma'am.
because they mix up they'll put opioids. They'll give cigarettes. I got
and
some,
you as a woman, they'll do that shit so they can take advantage of
you. My side thing, there's only like 3 of them, but I won't smoke them. They're like 3-pack rollies. I'll give those to you. I was going to give them out there. But it was somebody that gave cigarettes to Phoenix that were like, they have the filters. They packed them in the thing like they were being nice, but to me it was too fast in of exchange. And then they just gave them, and I said, no. I said, Phoenix, you smoke my Camel shorts with me. And when he was looking the other way, I took them from him because they'll soak the cigarettes in opioids or something, and then pack the tobacco in there. And you can tell.
Rebecca was telling me about that. She said they'll do that to you, so they'll try to do it quickly because if they have it in their pocket for a couple of minutes, then you can start seeing the oil.
Well, I don't know. All I know is that I know because from accepting cigarettes in times when I was like desperate and then going, oh my God, this has opioids in it. I can taste it or I can feel it. Not like opium, like opiums, like pills or something. But anyway, point being, I'll grab those for you. God dang, what was I? Oh, so I was in Evo and I gave up smoking pot in the woods because it just has gotten too scary up there. God dang, there's so many motherfuckers that want to kill me. The assassins coming over, Highway 22. And so the ones have listened. Okay, the Sayusla, the forest rangers listen. So there's lots more places to pull over. People are listening. They have their lights on. They care. So if somebody is trying to kill you on Highway 22 or anywhere, as assassins up your ass, fucking making you pull over, making you drive too fast, you see these houses with their lights on. If they're trying to kill you, you go up there and knock on the door and say they're trying to fucking kill me. And that is what I'm saying is, even though there's a lot of Nazis out there, they've really showed their fucking colors and shit. But the thing is, that when they realize, like, oh, this person has fucking assassins on them, or they'll realize.
Well, I usually call them hobo hunters or serial killers.
Well, the Taylors.
I mean, that's literally
Marjorie
what they are.
Taylor Greene's fucking cousins live here.
I don't know who those are.
Okay, Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Okay.
See, I stick with local stuff that I know personally.
She says stupid shit, and she's a
I don't know
Georgia
Trump.
lady that
I did
says
threaten to
stupid
kill him
shit.
a few years ago, though.
Anyway, so the Taylors are up here. They're second cousins for the real shits. Get in, they brought their garbage from Florida, and they're real rich. Like, oh, anyway, Rusty.
All right, well, I got to time out here because, all right, first, I'm freezing. Second, my car is really old, and leaving it running this much is burning up my gas. I'm going to try to warm up for
I just
about
wanted
10
to tell you about this. Coming down from Mount Kibo, this fucking truck was all black, and it had, like, the red lights on it. That shit is the Nazi red and black. And I was like, holy shit, they are bold or fucking brazen to come. It was like they were showing it. and it coming down from Mount Kibo, which is where that fucking thing is. But I gotta let you go because I don't want to kill you. You're like freezing ass.
Well, I'll be warm in about 10 minutes. I'm just gonna cruise through and get some gas or get some coffee here at McDonald's. It's only $1, and I'll park right back
Well,
here.
my name's Karen Lee Gillis. It's nice meeting you. And yeah, I will go over there. I'll light another cigarette and I'll get those fucking thingies out and give them to you. And I won't bother you no more. But
good?
Just me. I know. I've been in my car for like 10, 12 years. But you know, and I have storage until my man gets Anita. So you know.
Yes, ma'am. It's important.
So yeah, I'll get. Sorry, that was stupid. I
You're
just
good.
put my fingers in the thing. But yeah, so I'll smoke another cigarette and you look around and get a coffee and I'll give you those thingies. But like I said, I wouldn't let my son smoke because I'm gonna get. Oh God, I don't even know if I have another fucking cigarette in there. I'm gonna look at my purse because I spilled some. Because I'm at the end of the point of no cigarettes. But
I got rolling papers.
No, I'm gonna buy a pack, dude. I'm gonna buy a pack. Okay.
All right.
Right over there in Brown Buick.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
front.
You're good. There's no handle on it. It's broken. All right, it's forming up. This is not what this video is supposed to be about. I got approached while I was sitting here. You know, sometimes people have been through a lot of abuse and they end up a certain way. And then everybody looks away. There's also a lot of times where people know things that are very important, but also it's difficult to separate that from the stuff that you think is crazy. You use the word assassins, people automatically jump to the conclusion that you're crazy, because that really is crazy. I mean, the fact is that things like that do happen in the United States. They are more likely to happen to homeless women. By a lot. They're more likely to encounter those kinds of people. And of course, being put into one of those places, being injected with those drugs at a trap house or a nut house, it does the same thing. It screws you up mentally. The fact that our government does the same things that we are trying to stop people from doing. I mean, here we are, we say how horrible it is to human traffic somebody and sex traffic them and traffic them for profit. And then we take the victims.
Sorry, they suck. And I don't have any left because of my cigarettes spilled in the purse.
Oh, you're
and,
good.
Anyway, and there's none left, so I'm going to get cigarettes. Those suck. I mean, I'm assuming because they're falling out of the fucking.
Yes, ma'am. Well, thank
Those
you.
are ones somebody gave to Phoenix, and now all the tobacco's falling out. But they were just in my thingy, like right here. Like I snagged them, I put them there. And
Yes,
so,
ma'am. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to get cigarettes. Man, this icy shit is just. I guess you're from Nebraska and you're used to it. I worked with Bonnie and her husband. I don't know if they're around or not, but she was from Omaha. She was from Nebraska. That was a long time
So is
ago.
Malcolm X. Malcolm X was born in Omaha.
Oh, really?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Well, they were, actually, her husband was native. You wouldn't know it because he looked like, he's like me, like I'm white native, you know what I mean? But he didn't have blonde hair, but he was native from up there. But yeah, they were tweaking their fucking brain. They were tweakers hardcore. Really pretty. I mean, I don't know if Bonnie was nice, but she was my coworker, so we got along good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, You know, I've never tried cocaine. I've never tried heroin. I did try methamphetamines when I was like 23. It wasn't for me. It put me to sleep.
Yeah, wow, it's because of the Ritalin they made you take.
Probably.
Had the opposite effect. You're like, oh, this is more Ritalin. I'll just fall asleep. But no, I don't want them.
Well, thank you.
No, it's the cigarettes, dude. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go buy a pack of Camel filter shorts, dude.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, but I'm almost out of money, and I'm just like, damn, I can just get a housekeeping job and pump it up, but and fucking disability money and this and that, and it isn't enough. And
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's bullshit.
They give you $800 a month, but charge you $1,600 in running around to get that $800 a month.
Yeah,
and then you got 40 hours of paperwork to get that as well.
Not only that, but now they're stealing from disability accounts. Everybody's hacking it, and I gotta find out straight out why the fuck I only had 120 on the first instead of what should have been like 200. You know, if they split it SSI, SSD, and then you get some on the first, and it's like, well, why the fuck was that only 120? I gotta find this out. Yeah, I'm flying without network right now. Like, I'm like, oh my God, the phone is like never charged. Like, it's fucked up.
And that's one of the things I'm working with. But I'm also burning up gas right now, and I am still freezing. It only takes me about 10 minutes to warm up.
The thing about the Obama phones, I don't know if that's an Obama phone, but you know what? You go to Cricket. Cricket is the ones. And I didn't know that when they were sitting at Fred Meyer's going, free phone, that they were talking about Obama phones, and everybody was walking past. Because Assurance Wireless left Oregon, so the old 4G Androids don't work.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, far out, dude. I'm Karen, and what's your name again?
Sean Schwartz.
Sean Schwartz. I'm Karen Gillis.
Good to meet you, Miss
I
Karen.
hope to see you. Don't be shy. You know, you can come up to Manzanita and shit. It's more gas, and I don't know. It costs me a fortune because I can't get none of the stores. And
I'm scared of everybody, so I usually don't go far. Plus, I'm trying to get things established in here. They'll probably run me off before any of these services actually kick in, though.
Right. Well, just know that there is up there, and there's Rockaway, and there's just more spots. Tillamook is a box, right? So when I go through it, So when I go, see what I mean? It's a little bit of freedom, and then it costs a bunch of money, and they all treat me like shit. Pretty much like Tillamook, only a different shape.
Yes, absolutely.
So eat blessed, man.
I'm doing my best, and you as well.
Yeah, and you see me around at the brown Buick lady, dude, and I've got a bunch of shit to give away if you have a camp, but you're in the car is your camp. I get it, me too.
I got enough stuff for a 20-person camp.
Yeah.
I used to run a kitchen camp in Colorado, and I helped run it. It was myself and Catfish and Biggin ran it. But
nice. Biggin and Catfish and you. Sean Biggin and Catfish.
Yeah, everybody got a different name. Catfish's real name is Sean, and I don't remember Biggin's real name, but Sean probably remember it. They were best of friends. Biggin got real skinny, though. I guess he got cancer, and then got thin, and then he got healthy.
Wow. Well, man, this is pretty tough. I'm fighting fucking Cosa Nostra, which is pretty fucked up far. Let me tell you, though, we got affiliation. There is millions of us, not just the tea time gals, but our street thug pals. And you're one of them because you're in this fucking car freezing your ass off. That's right. We're bitches that got our kids taken away for no reason. We're the biggest group of bitches in the whole world. When you think about all the women can't feed their kids and everything, tea time gals. I'm saying affiliation is where it's at. It didn't give me a place to live, but you know what? Doing business, it will keep going. I wish I had some. I fucked off though, but once it's stupid migrating from storage unit to storage unit, brother. Okay.
I got a storage unit for evidence so that I can turn in a bunch of child molesters, and rapists, and human traffickers. People who got my best friend's head blown off.
Jesus Christ, God, are you serious?
I just have a beard.
Man, there was a protest. I just honked at it. I didn't even know about it, but in front of the Capitol, a bunch of ladies was like, lock up those rapists or some shit. It was like a small group, and I was like, honk, honk. I don't know what it was about. Anyway, that was in Salem.
Well, male victims aren't heard, and we
that's right.
We're allowed to go to those things in support of women, but if we go to them for ourselves, we get ostracized horribly.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I do hear you, the feminist thing, but I'm just saying we're standing up for everybody, and yeah, it's terrible to always
I'm fighting for everybody myself. I tell everybody, if you want to fight for equal rights, you fight for the homeless. There's black homeless, white homeless, man homeless, women homeless, children homeless, adults
even now
homeless.
there's even Mexican homeless. And there was no Mexican homeless. Now there's even Mexican people. Yeah, and kids.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
kids coming straight up from South America that are fucking homeless. Well,
We got kids from Portland that are homeless.
Out of MS-13 is what it is. They'll be in to get up to America. Then when they want to get out, but when they get out, it's painful because then they are saying, then they have to go away from the gang. And so I see those kids.
For me, I try not to bring up a lot of the gangs on my, when I'm telling people, because if I tell them about how, even though they have in the news every day telling them that the gangs are doing these things, when you're in it and when you see it and when you know those people, and if you speak up, like, nobody's going to believe you. You're crazy.
Oh, yeah. They have no idea.
And then there's the trauma that makes it difficult to tell the stuff that's actually going on versus the place where you're having a translation problem. I do have to close my door because I am freezing.
Yeah, telling the rich guy that was staying at the fucking Inn at the Fifth and shit, and he has no idea what's going on, what happens regularly on fucking Skinner's Butte. Yeah, it's exactly what you're talking about. God bless you very much,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Schwartz.
Thank you.
Schwartz was just murdered or killed and died in the Marion County Jail. A Schwartz that I had met on the street. Somebody, Schwartz. I'm
probably not related.
Yesterday. Just read it in the paper yesterday. He died in the Marion County Jail in custody, only 33 years old. His cellmate reported him not responsive. Yeah, can you believe it? I just read it yesterday.
I don't care about prisoners. You're in jail. Who cares if you fucking die? That's the way the guards treat you.
Fucking homeless. He was
Exactly.
a homeless motherfucker out on the street. He was somebody I knew. Anyway, his name was Schwartz, and I can't remember his first name, but I have it in the paper in there.
Yes, ma'am. I do have to warm up. I have to.
Far out. Okay, I don't understand. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. I am too cold to drive it. Holy shit. Was 40 minutes of freezing. Alright, I listened for about almost 10 minutes before starting the recording. I was going to start it anyway, but I was going to watch 38 minutes worth of this to get to the part that the title's actually about. So I'm going to remake it. Those of you who watched it, just so you know, Hayden Thomas was supposed to be the disabilities coordinator. This is one of many people who, just because I was prevented from bringing any of this up, Scott Cost automatically win. That's because my public pretender wouldn't do his job. I had to fire him more than once. But they're not going to do their jobs. If they're literally going to do everything in their power not to do their jobs, They don't need to be taking your taxpayer dollars and mine to do that. Those of you want to be asswipes because I'm not able to work now, well, fuck you. I worked nearly the whole time I was homeless, people. Before I hurt my back, yeah, I love work. I'm not able to work. Big difference. Alright, I'm starting to warm up. Obviously, I'm going to end the video and start another one so I can actually explain the whole situation. Hayden Thomas, he was supposed to be the disability coordinator there, but he didn't do his job because he quit. So they get to pretend that I had a disabilities coordinator. I'm supposed to have one according to the law. They get to say that I had Hayden Thomas. I saw him once after being there for months, and then he quit his job nearly immediately afterwards. Didn't do anything. Never performed any function. But they get to pretend that I had one. This is not acceptable. Same thing with Megan Misigatis. Scott Decoste gets to alleviate his own sins by saying, oh, well, he had an advocate. No, I didn't. Yeah, she had advocate in her title, but she wasn't doing it. She wasn't doing what an advocate is legally required to do. Neither did Lisa at Region 2, Jen Beebe at Region 1, or Penny Cooper with the, what's it called? The something house out of Scotts Bluff. They're the ones who took over for Region 1 when Region 1 screwed up bad enough that they got kicked out of Sidney, Nebraska. That includes Jen Beebe and Nicole Peralta. Nicole Peralta still operates her therapy business there. But, you notice that lady said a lot of stuff that is absolutely crazy. Absolutely it is. And she also said a lot of stuff that I can verify. Hello. That's perfect. Thank you. Already had it right now. My coffee. Didn't even have to tell him what I wanted. Anyway, there's a thin line between what's bullshit and what ain't sometimes, especially when it comes to people who are severely traumatized. When she says they're killing us and they're killing her son, she's absolutely right about that. I don't know necessarily about her son, but those of us out here on the streets, yeah, absolutely. All of you are contributing. We get told as white people, even though we're white homeless people, we get told that we're responsible for this because we don't speak up, we don't do anything, and we look the other way. Oh, you mean like you do to the homeless while we are actually fighting for your rights, while we're fighting for actual equality, not special rights? Thank you, ma'am. You too will do. A lot of these people out on the streets, yeah, they grew up in the system. They grew up being over-medicated. They grew up getting molested by foster parents. People who were supposed to be staff in group homes. People who chose those positions of power because it gave them easy access to easy victims. What makes these easy victims? The fact that they're in places where it's your word versus theirs. The fact that they can discredit your word, that your word is already assumed to be nothing and worth nothing. And now they're in this position of power that we supposedly have reserved for people who want to help other people. But that's not what we get. Sure, some of these people want to help others, but then we've also got the ones that hold bias, which is nearly everyone. When it comes to bias against the homeless, nearly all of you hold it. Nearly all of you hate us. You will hate all homeless people. You will tell a story about one homeless person that you had an issue with. You'll tell that story for the rest of your life as an excuse to treat all homeless people like shit or pretend they don't exist. To look the other way while they're victimized, while things happen to them that you wouldn't want happening to you. And then there's things like that. You know, that was a lot of stuff she was sharing, and, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of fact and truth in it. There's also a lot of stuff that I don't know about you, but I definitely have a hard time believing it. However, I also know from my situation that sometimes when you're excited, somebody's actually listening to you, and you're talking real fast. Sometimes your words don't come together right. Since I literally just met her when I was getting ready to make this video, I don't know her from Adam, and I was feeling her out the same as you guys were. Trying to understand the situation, understand her, and thank goodness you guys didn't have to try not to freeze. It's fucking cold. It's only slightly breezy. It's not real windy, and it's not cold enough that everything's frozen, but we do have freezing rain that keeps coming down sporadically. The only reason the stuff isn't freezing on the ground is because we did get a lot of sun, and there is a lot more sun that has been shining here for the last few months than they're actually used to here. As a result, every time it rains, it gets real foggy out. When there's moisture that hits the ground, it turns into vapor, and it makes things just slightly foggy. And if there's a little bit of a breeze, it carries it off, and you don't notice it. If there's no breeze, you guys have gotten to see in a few of my videos where it's very, very foggy. I don't know if there's some sort of color enhancement or border enhancement or something like that that goes on with my camera, but when I go back and I look at some of those videos, I'm like, yeah, it's still foggy as hell, but the camera definitely sees better than I do through the fog, especially with all the lights that when they hit the fog, you know how that looks. It illuminates it and accentuates it. If you're in the dark and there's no moonlight, it's midnight and you're walking around in the fog, you know, you can't exactly tell that you're in the fog. But the moment you turn on the lights, you see this big poof of white in front of you wherever the beam hits it. Alright, I better end this video. My intent and purpose for it is non-existent at the moment. I'm going to have to get off of here and make another video. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind. Not even if they're crazy. Not even if they're schizophrenic. Not even if they're delusional. Not even if they're bipolar. Not even if they have depression. Not even if they're homeless. Not even if they're someone with cerebral palsy, someone with autism, or someone with Down syndrome. Not even if they're a male or a female or have Tourette's or post-traumatic stress disorder.